It's a mess. Alrighty, let's try this again, shall we? Oh my god, my hair is a mess. How did that happen? Other than me, probably from me pulling my hair out from the hockey game. To be honest, that was terrible. Oh my god, watching that game, that was terrible. Anyways, hi. My god, I really look like crap. I need to fix that. Where is my hairbrush? Oh, where's my hairbrush? Oh, where's my hairbrush? Oh, where is my hairbrush? Now, if you can tell me what that's from, that I'd be amazed. Because something that a lot of people watched from my childhood, you know, that could have been actually kind of preachy at times. Not too bad, but it was definitely very. It was a religious centric show that everybody like most people from my generation watched, which is kind of funny, And it turns out like it is very interesting how I would have thought because of my kind of energy and my kind of like upbeat attitude and stuff like that, that I would have had more people, and also just because of my age, I thought I would have had far more people that are in my age bracket or younger as my core audience. But that's just not the case. And now it's possible that maybe if I did say, wow, this really does make my hair look bad, but I just washed my hair last night. But anyway, so it regardless of that though. What was I saying? Now I completely forgot. But yeah, so oh, see me. But getting back to actually, so like honestly, just stuff in general. Um, is so yeah, actually, that's what I was talking about. So my core audience, if I go look at YouTube Studio right now, I'm gonna do it on my phone so that I can see if anybody comes in here and comments. So yeah. Um, let's just see here. So if I go analytics and I go audience, and then we'll see here. And this is unusual. I usually don't do this many lives in one day, but technically three. But the first one wasn't working that well, so I changed it. So what's interesting is, oh, it's actually changed. So actually, if I go lifetime with that, let's go lifetime. Lifetime, and let's go videos, because shorts are going to be different. So what is very interesting, if I go the entire lifetime of my channel, right? Entire lifetime. Um, the bulk of the people that watch my channel are between the ages of 45 to 54 and 35 to 44. Interestingly, even 55 to 64, surprisingly, actually has 18.2% of my viewership. So it's actually a lot of older people, like not super old, obviously, but older people that actually watch my channel. And it's very interesting for me to think about that because, again, of how I am and of my energy and what I do. Now, it's just very odd to me, I don't mind it because like I know actually like some of the people I know in the car hobby, to be honest, they are older. So it's just interesting this way. And like, and I have obviously predominantly male audience on my channel. It's only 7.7% female audience and the rest is male. So very dominant that way. However, I hope to get more of a female presence on my channel in the future because it's just, it's kind of nice to have that more whenever I can. Um, but yeah, So I mean, it's just one of these things. I decided because of how last stream though ended to do this stream because my internet decided it was not going to be working well with my setup here. So what did I do? I thought that maybe disconnecting my webcam would have been better, and turns out it just stabbed a heart in the live stream. It made it even worse because my camera went out, and I think my mic went out too at that point, because my mic is my camera. So yeah, if you watch the last stream, you'll see that towards the end, it got really blurry, and then that happened. So I was kind of mind boggled by that, and it's just one of those things. But it is what it is. That's just how it goes. Um, and he probably saw the thumbnail. I held my cat up to the thumbnail to realize, oh crap, my hair looks freaking awful. It still doesn't look great. I mean, I just watched this last night. I don't know why it looks so bad, but it's looking really bad on camera. But anyways, and uh, there are people, and I've actually, speaking of my hair and stuff like that, I've actually had people in comments talk about how sometimes in videos that I'll talk about my hair a little bit and just looks like crap, but whatever. Basically is what I'll say. Because again, my looks aren't everything on my channel. It's just something I do. And speaking of which, let's make that a little better. There we go. That's a little better. A little better. But people have complained about that. I'm going, well, I don't really check how I look prior to me going on camera. I just kind of point and shoot. So that's one of those deals. And actually, because I know there was people that were interested. Copy. I'm going to really quick see if I can find those people. Because there was 2 people interested in watching the stream earlier, which I have notifications for that. So scroll down. I'm live again. There we go. Just reply to that one and back live one more time. There we go. Boom. Done. Okay. There. That works. Hopefully. We'll find out. We'll find out if that works. Because I don't, let's see, my YouTube Creator Studio thing here. Yeah, okay. I don't have any concurrent viewers at the moment, which I'm not shocked by that. Yeah, so anyways though, like stuff to I'm just trying to think of what else, like what to kind of talk about, because we were having such a good conversation before, and that's why I wanted to redo the stream here. And because yeah, like I mentioned earlier, like tomorrow, I'm going to hopefully fix my taillights all together, get them resealed and all that stuff, and be good to go. Because again, I don't know why I'm thinking that it's Wednesday today, but it's not. It's only Tuesday. I didn't, so like tomorrow I didn't think I would be able to do that, but no, I'll be able to. I'll have enough time, because Thursday I have to go grab my dad from the airport. Now it's not till like 6 o'clock, so it's fine. At least I think. I have to double check with him, which I'll ask him about that tomorrow. But yeah, it's just one of those things, because usually it's Mondays, but like I'll be driving him back to the airport on Monday again, so it's gonna be a quick sort of turnaround. I'm pretty sure that's when he's flying out. I think I have to make sure about that. But yeah, so if you happen to be in Calgary, you might see my car go to the airport and come back to this 100. So my 81 Mustang, I'll be in her because she's the most economical car that we currently have within the fleet. Because I have 3 vehicles myself, my dad has 1, and my car is just more economical than his Dodge Magnum. His Magnum needs a little bit of work, and it's something that I might do for him. Like, see if I can do just like a basic tune-up and stuff like that for him. And we'll see, because I haven't even really worked on that thing. Period. Those Magnums, they can be a bit of a pain to work on. But that's any newer car, to be honest. Any older car too. Like, there's a lot of old cars that are terrible to work on, but A lot of newer cars though are worse to work on. So it's one of those deals that it's just something that you work with, and that's how it goes. But because there's stuff like because I can imagine it probably needs spark plugs. I think it needs the mass airflow sensor to at least be cleaned, if not replaced. It's gonna need a timing belt and a water pump, which because you replace the water pump when you replace the timing belt because they're run off each other, to be honest. So it's good practice to replace both. And then when you're doing the timing belt, you'd also replace the timing belt tensioner. Um, and just do it that way. So we'll see. Like I honestly, I'm just thinking, maybe one of these days I'll just go get some spark plugs for it and see about changing the plugs out because it shouldn't be too bad on that engine. Because it's interesting because they're the 3.5 V6, so it's not the Hemi, so you don't have to change out 16 spark plugs. It's only 8 or 6, I should say. Um, and like they're good little engines, to be honest. You just like it's right on the cusp of needing that time belt, to be honest. I'm sure the time has passed where it's needed one, but the mileage definitely. And there's just other things with the car, like the brakes need to be done. And basically, if you were to take this all to a shop, you'd be paying well over $2,000 for everything to be done on this car. So if I can help them a little bit, like even just changing the spark plugs, that's something that I would be willing to do for him. And like his one tire needs to be filled up, which I should actually do that tomorrow, as well. Just drive his car quickly over to the gas station and just fill the tire up with air because the one tire leaks quite bad. Potentially I will even see about taking it to a shop so that they can patch the tire because it leaks bad. Like within 2 weeks, it's basically fully flat, and it's been a little over a week, so it's something that I should um check out because to be honest, his car, it's not my favorite to drive. Like my favorite car to drive at the moment is my 81 Mustang, although I really miss driving my 86. My 86 Mustang, just being a convertible, is just fun to drive, but she's buried under a bunch of snow right now. I can't even get into the car, like at all. I'd have to. The only way how I can get into the car right now is either dig it out or pull my 81 Mustang out and attempt to get in through the passenger side. That's the only way how I can get into my convertible right now. And because I'm waiting for the snow to basically melt, and then I can take the car for a drive and enjoy her again because I haven't started her in a while either. But I know she'll start. It's not a problem. If the battery's dead, I'll just charge the battery. It's not a big deal. I have 2 battery chargers, so not a big deal. And the one, actually, if it happens to be dead, I can actually show you a little more on the one battery charger that I have. Because I did one little video on that, and I'll do another one. Or at least if it's not about that, it'll technically just be about will the car start, and then if the battery is dead, then I'll be like, okay, this is shifting to a review of this thing proper, and I'll download the app for it and see how it is. Because there's like smart charging with this thing and everything, and it's like $120, I think. But I got it for free. But yeah, it's just one of the things. And actually, because I was just gonna look at, it is interesting because like I always like to look at some content that I've put out in the past while and just see how it's doing. Like that, my last video that I posted, just a couple days ago, that video is doing really well right now. I really love that. Over 1,500 views and counting. Um, and even because it's interesting because when you sort by like most viewed on my channel, I am so happy that there's a junkyard tour that's the top, and I will be going back to that junkyard. You know, in the future. It is such a good one to go to because they have so much unique stuff, and I do want to do more out there, get more videos. Who knows? Maybe buy more parts because I got I picked up some parts last time from them, and even if I don't use them, I can either resell them or I can just keep them for a future project. Because I got those really rare louvers. And like there's a truck in there that I want, but I can't afford it. I don't have any money right now. But it's something that I do like I want to get back down there. And like, something that does surprise me. So because like I try and do like if I'm filming vehicles, I try to do the more unique vehicles if I can. Because they tend to get the better views. Not in the beginning, but through over time they get better views. Like if I scroll down on my, my kind of list here, because the 51 Ford F1 actually for people's cars that I have filmed, that video has the most views. Other people's cars, not my own. And like the 78 Civic, first started that in 26 years. That has over 8,400 views, which is just incredible to think about. And all these different videos that I've done, and it's just incredible of how well these can do. And even like the 81 Ford Durango, that thing is so cool. I love that car, and actually that is in Calgary now. I saw it in because I was filming two vehicles that day. I was stopping there to film that, and then I was going to film. No, I was filming that and then going to Keith's. That's right. That's right. Because the day that I filmed two vehicles was actually the 73 Valiant Charger and the which you might think Valiant Charger, what is that? Valiant and Charger are two different things, and not in this case. It's an Australian Mopar, which Australian Mopars, if you don't know, are quite unique, and with their names and everything, they just the way they go. It's really, really, really cool. And seeing a lot of like different styling in that car is quite neat. And to be honest, like, did I know anything about the car when I went to message the guy? No. I went in there, and that's the one thing. There are times that you'll see me know a ton about a vehicle that I'm filming, and there are other times where I am clueless, but I just like the vehicle and I want to film it, right? And so, yeah, it was one of those things. I tried to research a little bit, but it just kind of went out the window, to be honest. And that happens. And my videos, I don't do multiple takes. I don't edit them. I just do, right? It's one of these things where I will never ever, you know, do that way. And why does this? Oh, because of that. I gotcha. Yeah, okay. I was just looking at one of my point of views. I'm going, why does this one have so many views? Then I realized, oh, that's the one where Buddy pulled in front of me and almost crashed into me. That's why. But yeah, because I was just filming that, just driving out to Olds, and I've done a few driving out to Olds, and yeah, just some people are just very very stupid when it comes to that. Um, but it's just one of those things. However, so like stuff that because I don't really know exactly what's going to be coming up on the channel. Like I will, like I said, tomorrow I'll attempt to fix the headlights, tail lights. Because the one was just really really bad, and I'm gonna borrow a crimper from my neighbor tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed. That should work out. Because really, I have no obligations tomorrow, so that's the nice part about this. I'm clean and clear that way. Because that's one of those things that I just don't really come across that way. And yeah, I mean, I really because I'm just trying to think, and like because for stuff in the future, even on the car too, it's one of these things where because okay, obviously there's the prototype EFI, but there's been no updates on that since I put out the last update, so that is, just again, just waiting on that. That's not a big deal. Um, then there is the whole thing of um, the header to build, which again, that won't happen until my car, the snow melts and I can be driving my convertible regularly, because it's going to take a while to build that header. And with my 81 Mustang, she's going to be down for a bit because of the header build, right? And that's the one thing that I do want to figure out is, like, do I want to do dual? Do I want to do single? Like, it's gonna keep the dual exhaust that it has on it, but do I want to do dual outlets or a single outlet? And I might go towards single outlet. It's just a little easier, but to fabricate. But we'll see, to be honest, because it's gonna be 100% fabricated by me. I've never TIG welded, so we'll see how this looks. Now, the beauty of this that we're doing, honestly, all I'm gonna do is, especially if the welds don't look as pretty, I'm gonna wrap the header anyways. So that's not a big deal for me. But it will be interesting to see, how it's gonna look, because I don't know yet. I don't even know the design that I'm gonna go after. And I do want to make a plate for a turbocharger, but it'll just be blocked off for now because I'm not gonna set up a turbo on the thing yet. It's just one of those deals where that takes a little more. It's a little more involved with that. So, um, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And I might do a draw through setup. Um, because apparently, actually draw through is a lot better, and you don't have to do as much tuning to your carburetor that way. Not that actually, well, with the turbocharging, technically, it wouldn't be carbureted. So with the turbocharging, that will be on the EFI head. To be honest, that's how that's gonna go. So we'll see. We'll see. It's one of those just cool things that way. It's either going to be like a 200 or 250 head. They're basically the same. So if it's a later one, right? So we shall see. But I mean, I have no viewers right now, to be honest. I kind of because of how it was going earlier, I figured that maybe we'd get some good engagement, but I don't know. I'll stick around and see for the next 10, 15 minutes, and if nobody comes along, I'll just end the stream. It's not a big deal. I just did this because it's just like, what, we were having such a good conversation earlier, and the stream just crapped out, and and it's just one of these things that does happen. And maybe I don't know, maybe I just try and find some stuff on here to kind of kill the time, just like on my phone and finding stuff. But if you guys want to talk or anything, let me know. Because yeah, like I am interested in, and I can't wait. Like, even for the dyno day, it's gonna be absolutely incredible of what everything I've done, of how much more power it has, because I have a baseline in my head of what it should have made from the factory, which actually, let me do the quick calculation on this, because you do. So 87 times 0.20. Okay, so 17.4. 87 minus 7, no, 17. So I think my car would have approximately made about 70-ish horsepower to the wheels when it was new, right? Brand new. Now, with all the rest of the mods I have done, I think I'm closer to like 100 horsepower to the wheels, which again is not a ton, maybe a little more than that, but I don't know for sure. The header is going to boost it by a considerable amount. And it's one of those things, because I've heard you go to a header on these inline sixes, and you will actually gain a bunch of power. You gain about 40 to 50 horsepower doing that, and it's just incredible. Now, I do wonder if that's taking into consideration the with the whatchamacallit. So on my engine, it has a cast iron manifold, exhaust manifold, and then there's a center dump, right? But that center dump goes into this big chamber, and that chamber usually has a bunch of catalytic material in it, but mine actually doesn't, which I didn't know this. Um, hadn't a clue that that one wasn't hollowed out yet, or that was hollowed out because somebody did that on my engine in the past. But they kept the original catalytic converter on the car, which is interesting. That catalytic converter wasn't, it wasn't much, but I did sell it for $20, so there's that. But yeah, it's just one of those things. And then and I had this really terrible exhaust built for it. I still have it. Well, actually, it's not here. My buddy Teen Mechanic has it, and I don't. I'll get it back from him. I'm trying to remember why he has it. Like, that's a little lost on me. I can't remember. But honestly, it's just one of those things. Yeah, because he does have it, and he said I could have it back if I wanted it. I mean, I would just resell it, to be honest. I'd just take it to a swap meet and just get whatever I can get for it. Somebody offers me, because like it does have thrust turbo mufflers, and it is a H pipe from a 2014 right on it. That's what that setup is, and it didn't have the greatest sound. Like, it sounded okay, but it wasn't great. And then once Keith paid for the exhaust that I have now, it's just so much better. So much better. But we shall see. We shall see how it goes. Because, yeah, and honestly, I can't wait to hear what the exhaust is going to sound like, dude. It's one of those things. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the stream's dead. I have 1 like, no viewers. Let's do this really quick here. Can I make a post about this? Well, okay, I can, but not through the here. Okay. I'm going to do this, this. And I wonder if it's because of the thumbnail. And maybe I reshoot this with a different thumbnail. Because I'm going to go to share and create post. I'm live on YouTube. Right, meow. I'm join. Yeah, do that. And it's interesting because apparently people have not been getting some notifications for my live streams, and I don't understand why. And I'm not gonna send it out there. Now, this is odd. So I had a person, actually, I will mention this. I don't know if their profile that they just... Yeah, somebody that was messaging me, because they initially wanted to buy my 86 Mustang months and months and months ago. And, they never really formed anything. That's fine, Not enough LS swaps. There you go. And there's my buddy Brian in the chat, which he's awesome. He has a couple of doggos, and those doggos are awesome. But yeah, like, and, it's one of these things. Because actually, now in something, it does. So, like I mentioned it at the start of the stream, but it does surprise me with my analytics that I see on my channel of how it's actually more towards the older, not old people, but people that are older than me is my core demographic on the channel. And it does surprise me to a certain degree, but I guess because of what I'm filming, it is that way. If I did say more JDM and Euro cars, Possibly it would get, the age gap down more than likely, and like more, newer stuff. But I really don't. So it is quite surprising though. Like my core demographic is between the ages of like 44 and like up to 60. It's surprising, to be honest, very surprising for lifetime on the channel, because yeah, it's just, you would have thought with my sort of energy and the way I am and everything that I'd have more of the younger crowd, but I guess I don't. It's okay. Like I'm not upset about it. It's just very interesting. But I do get a lot of people that not as many assholes though because of that. So, and now something like, and I do want to do, because this weekend I might be going to Calgary and actually going to a No Boys Allowed car event. However, it is, this is just their weekly car meet that anybody can go to. Um, and I haven't seen these ladies in quite a while, so it would be kind of nice to see them again. And I'd probably run into other people that I know, just because like a friend of mine, he only lives like 3 or 4 blocks away from there, to be honest. So I might see like my buddy Dieter with his Hondas. He wouldn't show up with any of his Hondas, but maybe he just shows up because his Hondas are parked you know until there's no snow on the ground. Which, because his cars are nice, he doesn't really own a pile of crap. But he actually has a Mustang now too. He bought a Coyote 6-speed Mustang, and it's just kind of cool. It's an S197, and should be good for him. But it's pretty neat that he has a Mustang. Like, because I've only ever known him for owning Japanese cars, specifically like Hondas. Because he has an RSX, he has an Integra, he has a CRX for sure, and I think he has one more. But it's one of those things. Okay. Oh, that's cool. See, actually, there is a swap meet that's coming up. Um, Big swap meet in a couple weeks. So, which I hope to be there, but we'll see. I do have some stuff I can sell at the swap meet, and I just have to see if I know anybody that's gonna have a table, because then I can just mooch off their table. Because my friend of mine, Roy Marco, he was there last year, and we had a pretty good time. Um, and he actually told me that if you ever have stuff you want to sell, let me know, and if I'm there, you can we can share a table. I'm like, cool. I'm okay with that, because yeah. Or even with my neighbor Lance, because he is like, he's not ready for the swap meet yet, but maybe he wants to go in on a table. Oh, hi. 162 customizing. I've never actually seen you in the chat. Welcome to the live. Definitely appreciate you coming out. And yeah, so basically, like, my lives, I will mention, if you've never watched any of them, I honestly, it's usually just me up here. I've never ever had a guest. And I just do them at random times. Like, this is actually my second one tonight, because the first one, the other one, I'm not gonna count, only because it was kind of buggy at the beginning and it just didn't really work out. So then I did another one for kind of a reshoot, and then now I did this one. So, and sometimes I can have a lot of viewers and other times not. Like, this is the start of the stream, so it's can be a little slow at the beginning, but it typically can get pretty good. Um, and I just decided that I was gonna go live again, because why not? It's just kind of a fun thing, because I enjoy, I enjoy talking to y'all, and my sort of thing of like, it's mostly an automotive sort of talk, but if it does, it will divulge into other things as well. this is more like just just a bunch of friends just hanging out and chatting about cars and stuff like that. So but definitely appreciate you coming out. And actually, so 162 customizing. So I'm gonna assume that you're a car person. And what do you got? Because now I want to check out your channel. Because with a name like that, you've got to have a channel. That's my guess. This. All right, I can't do it that way. Boo! I can't do it that way. That's fine. Because yeah, I'm actually curious. Like, do you have a current project car right now, or is it just like a shop that you own that's that name, or just wondering? And okay, so let's take a look at your channel. So okay, you've got 405 subscribers, 187 videos. Not bad. And you do regular uploads by looks of it too, overall. Cool. Very cool. Oh, so it looks like looking at your channel, it's more like metal finishing and stuff like that. And like body work. At least. Or okay, you're working on a 98 Chevy? Okay. Cool. Sorry, I took a peek at your channel because I was just curious, you know, because anybody that pops into my channel, I always like to see what they what they have, what they're doing. Um, but if this is your first time ever on my channel at all, if you haven't seen any of my content before, maybe you have. Um, I do have so I have three vehicles stuck. Well, five, six. Oh, that does suck. I can understand weather being in the way. I live up here in Canada, so like in Alberta, so we're still dealing with snow. Like we just got a dump of snow the other night, and now I am just waiting for the weather to be just being really nice again. Like today was decent. Um, but it's still been really cold, and the only shop that I actually have access to is about 2.5 hours away. So a lot of the stuff that like if I'm tinkering on the car or whatever, it's usually in front of my house. And like I'll be doing this tomorrow is fixing my LED sequential taillights. Um because they've been giving me nothing but fits on my 81 Mustang. I bought these about 2 years ago now, and they've just been giving me nothing but problems since installing them. But I think I figured it out finally. Because there's a couple things I'm gonna have to fix with that, but that's okay. Get it done, and that's the whole thing. That way, and like in that car, I completely rebuilt that car and did a decent amount of customizing to it too. Because it's got a T5 swap in it instead of a C4 automatic. It's a 200 inline six. Doesn't make a lot of power, but I'm hoping for it with the mods that are coming in the coming months. I hope that I can eclipse about 200 horsepower to the wheels. To be honest, it's not a ton, but that's what I'm aiming for. Because if it's doing that, that's going to be around like 240-ish to the crank, and I'll be outrunning stock V8 Aero Fox bodies, and even some modified ones too, because I'm a lot lighter. So it's pretty cool. Like some of the stuff is going to add a little bit of weight, but um, oddly enough, I think I've taken weight off the vehicle more so than added to it. Other than adding the carpet in the headliner, that added weight, but yeah, that's fine. And the rear end added weight too, but whatever. It is what it is. Um, and like for me, because like I work on Fox bodies typically, but I have dabbled in a bunch of different stuff. Like I owned a '78 Civic for a while. That was kind of cool, but never really got off the ground with that project and just moved on from it. I have an '81 uh Econoline E. Well, so hang on, 1981 E350 Triple E Camelot conversion. You know, And it's just like a dually sort of truck, but it's actually a van. It's really neat. I'm trying to sell that one too, but if it doesn't run, it needs a ton of work. But well, I definitely appreciate you checking out the channel. Because yeah, like honestly, and it's just one of these things that you'll notice about my channel compared to most is I don't edit. I do all of my filming with this phone right here, and I just shoot it, upload. Not much for editing. I do some editing stuff, but not a ton. It's usually whenever I edit, it is just clips sort of together. I never edit anything out. Now there are times that I will omit some clips, but ugh, that is awful. Actually, I need a drink really quick, so I'll be right back, and I can chuck that out too while I'm up. Because yeah, that as soon as I cough like that, I definitely know I need a drink, and not alcoholic drink, but just a drink in general. Okay, Saber, I need you to move. You move. Also, it's a big fat kitty cat. Oh. There we go. You might photobomb the live for a moment. Oof. Let's grab 2 of those, and let's grab a water. There we go. Okay, hi Saber. There we go. And I'm back. Luckily, the fridge is just right over there. Like you can physically see me go to the fridge. But yeah, and it's one of these things. Actually, because there's a guy that is messaging back and forth with me about it potentially. Like, so everybody has had the dream, right? Like everybody's had the dream of being an automotive presenter, of some description. Doing the whole Top Gear thing, right? Because we all kind of grew up watching Top Gear, or at least of my generation. Typically, we grew up watching Top Gear, and it was the most watched sort of car show ever at one point. It's unfortunately, with the new presenters and stuff like that, it just has lost the magic that it had years ago. But here we go. But it's one of those deals that there's this guy that wants to create his own kind of production of this, and he wants me to be one of the presenters. So we shall see how that goes, to be honest, if this materializes into anything or if it just is just a guy dreaming. Because I don't know this guy at all. We haven't talked too much, and because I did ask him, like, what do you want this to be more? Do you want this to be more of like the sort of like car reviews side of it, or do you want to be more of the challenges? Which for me, I'd much rather do like automotive challenges of like, you have say $1,500 and you need to go buy a truck, and then we'll do like a tough truck sort of challenge that way. Stuff like that would be really cool. But we'll see. And that he wants to find a third person to be a presenter with, and there's only one person I have in mind, but unfortunately he's in school, so but we shall see. And silly cat. Hello, Steve H. I don't think I've ever seen you in the chat either. Welcome to the live stream. That's 2 new people. Awesome. I love this. So this is an automotive. If you've never been here before, welcome. This is an automotive centric podcast, and it's usually just me up here. I I've never had a guest yet, but that might happen in the future. We shall see. We shall see how it goes. It's one of these things that it's not unheard of, but or at least I shouldn't say unheard of. It's one of these things that I've thought about. I just haven't done it yet. Oh, see me. But yeah, because I don't think I've seen you before. So welcome. Um, Now there's probably gonna be a little bit of a delay between me saying that and you guys in the chat because I do know that. And actually, there's something I want to edit here. Can I edit that from here? Uh, Customization. No, I don't. Oh yeah, no, okay, that is not on. Okay, I was just making sure that I wasn't just doing a delay entirely because of a setting I had on here. Because again, I've done quite a few of these lives, but I've only recently been doing them off the computer. I usually do them off of my phone, so we shall see. And hopefully this one goes better because last stream I did earlier today, it kind of I had technical issues and there was nothing I could do to fix it. And what I tried to do to fix it just kind of, pierced a hole in the freaking YouTube's heart and just ended it. So it happens though. Never said I was super good with technology. That's why I drive what I drive. I do like newer cars. However, older cars are just where it's at. Give me a classic. Give me a even though I am actually going to fuel injection on my 81 Mustang, I still like carburetors, to be honest. They are just nicely simple and stuff like that, but you know, the reason though that I'm actually going injection, it's not because of it's like, hey, I really, really want to. Even though I've always kind of wanted to play with injection, but I don't understand, like a lot of the computerization of fuel injection, I just never understood. So a friend of mine who is an engineer, he's actually prototyping me a not a sequential fuel injection, but a multi-port fuel injection for my inline six. So and it's not going to be run off an ECU. It's going to be run off of basically Pertronic sensors sending signal to coil packs, which sends signal to the injectors to be fired. It's honestly a fairly simple sort of setup that way. It's I guess kind of similar to an older Volkswagen tech back in the day, but you know, there's so many people that have doubted of that this will work, but to be honest, I know he knows what he's doing. He's done something similar to this, but not quite the same as this in the past. So we shall see how he does. Like, I can't wait to see the results. And he just offered to do it. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's one of these nice things. I wanted to talk to him about it, but I couldn't afford to really pay him for it. So he's just doing it. And I'll try and slide him money whenever I can. But it's one of these things where I am like most automotive enthusiasts, I am broke. Feels better. But yeah, so but that's just one of these things that honestly I can't wait for that to happen. And like I'm gonna be building my own custom long tube header that'll be in a few weeks, to be honest, more than likely. Probably start it sometime in maybe April, maybe early May. I want to say April though, because by April, I can start building this thing, and by the time the dyno day happens, so I can have the header on the car with any luck. So we shall see how that goes. But yeah, honestly, it's just kind of happy with how stuff is just kind of rolling right now, you know. And Rascal decides he's going to photobomb the live stream with the ultimate resting bitch face. Eh? Grumpy Cat's got nothing on you, even though Grumpy Cat's dead. But eh? Hi. That's actually kind of funny. Hi, buddy. What you doing? Can I help you? Or are you just gonna sit there and just stare? Yeah, he's a silly boy. But yeah. So I'm trying to think of what else to talk about. Like, because that's one of these things where I do a little bit rely on the chat to you know to talk more. I sorry, brain is just not working. I do deal with actually some issues with actually my head and my heart at times. It does really affect the way I actually work on cars and stuff like that too. I can't overly exert myself like most people. I have to be really careful with that. I know I haven't, but I will be doing some metal work to be honest. Um, because the metal work I'm going to be doing, because I will have to. Because actually, a friend of mine had actually asked me last night would I be interested in doing like an amateur paint job on my car, which it's just basically like it's not going to be absolutely perfect, but it'll be way better than what I have for paint now. And there's a few dents in the car that have to be pulled, and even especially in the rear quarter section there, um, on the passenger side, will have to be pulled there. But then also, I have to replace that passenger door. You could fix it, but it's not worth it. Just get another door. See me, because it's a very very rusty door with a bunch of bondo in it, and I still have bondo on the car too. So I need to eliminate all that. And the car, it won't be going down to full bare metal, but it'll be mostly, and it will be a paint job on the outside of the car. I might not. I might paint under the hood. I might not. Um, it's not going to be a full disassembly. Bondo does suck. I hate people that use a bunch of Bondo, because what people don't realize, like just idiotic people in the car hobby, is Bondo is for just smoothing it out. You know, it's not for covering up rust or dents. That's not what it's for. It's just kind of a thin layer that you're supposed to do with it. And yeah, because like something I did, and I will admit, there is some stuff that I've done just in a pinch on my car to just fix it really quickly. Because I was doing in the summertime, I was doing body work on the passenger side of the car. Because the passenger side of the car is the worst side, particularly with the door and the rear sort of lower quarter. Um, that way, and it's one of these things to where when I was doing that and I came across all this Bondo, I didn't realize there was that much Bondo. I know there's a little bit, but oh my god, what I found was just insane. So this kind of hammered a bit area that had a bunch of really small dents, sort of thing, but a one big one, and there was actually a hole in the body. So what I ended up doing, because I didn't get all the Bondo off, I tried, but I just could not get it all off without using something like, say, muriatic acid or something like that. Because I was just using straight up palm sander, just hand sanding, and a grinder. But just with some of the edges and stuff like that, I just couldn't quite get it all. And so when I was trying to fix the hole, and the way I was just going to do it, because I'm like, okay, I can't leave that exposed, and I'm not going to cover it up with a bunch of Bondo. What am I going to do here? Oh, I know. I just did a bunch of tack in the hole to do that. But the problem was there was too much Bondo in that area to begin with. So what ended up happening was I'd find one little piece of metal that I could tack onto, and then tack onto that tacked weld and do it that way. It's not the way to do it, but in a pinch, it worked, right? And I did not grind it down though. I was just way too exhausted for that. So I just painted over it, and it's really ugly on the car. But that'll be fixed. That'll be fixed in the summertime. And to answer Steve's question, do you see a ring on any of these fingers? No. I'm not married. It's one of those things. Never even had the thought of actually being married, to be honest, ever. And yeah, it's funny seeing those comments. I'm like, well, you can see my hands; they're out in the open. If there was a ring, if I was married, I'd be wearing a ring and be proud of it. I wouldn't be taking it off for YouTube. No, and if I did get married, whoever whoever I was married to, if they bought me a ring with like a diamond on it, or even like sort of that sort of thing, I'm a mechanic, not by trade, but hobbyist. It's gonna get damaged, right? So give me a ring that's not going to be, you know, that'll hold up. Oh God, one of these people. No, and I don't want one. Period. I don't need a boyfriend in my life because, well, I don't swing that way. I am gay. So it's always fun. Every once in a blue moon, I get somebody like this in the chat. This is one of these things. Welcome to being a woman on the internet. Fuck. It's so much fun. So much fun dealing with people like that. It's like, and which I don't get people to come into my chat talking about stuff like that. Because really, this is an automotive sort of centric thing. Yes, we do stray from time to time from that. But, it's one of these things where, oh, and did he drop out? He may have. God, these stupid people. But it is what it is. It's just so funny that I have my cat just like staring menacingly, because he just got that resting bitch face. Because he's not angry, but that's just the way he is. Eh? And I have the cuter one on my lap. But yeah, because like I did see on your channel, you're doing a lot of like metal work on your 98 Chevy. Because I just looked through it really quick. I wasn't looking like obviously watching any of the videos, but I was just scanning your content really quick to see, what it was. And yeah, so you're doing like a full-on sort of custom build, I'm assuming. Because I saw like you were, Frenching in, I think you said Frenched in taillights and stuff like that. At least that's what I thought I saw, which is cool. Like I don't have much experience with metalworking at all. Like the last time I did any proper metalworking was honestly in the when I was back in high school, which was how long ago was that now? Christ. Like 7 years ago, I think. So I've done body work, but actual proper metalworking, no. I do a lot more mechanical, yes. So my main focus for my projects, anyways, is my 81 Mustang. Because, like I said, I have an 81 Mustang notchback, 200 inline six. It's been completely worked over, excluding internally to the engine. That's still stock. And it still has the cast iron exhaust manifold on the car. But it's got a full dual exhaust on it. I swapped out the 6 3/4 with a 273 open rear end to a 8.8 with 355s and a limited slip. The stock C4 automatic, I actually swapped out for a T5. I wasn't going to do it when I did it, but the reason why I swapped it as early as I did was I did a massive burnout on the channel, and the problem was heat got into the torque converter and just basically destroyed the torque converter. I could still drive the car, but it was slipping. And so I do wonder if it damaged the transmission or not. We didn't really check. We didn't drain the fluid or anything out of it. We just kind of pulled it out. And yeah, like I wasn't too sure of how that was going to go. that way. And like that T5 swap was a pain. So because okay, I have a 200 inline six, which most people don't even realize came in Fox bodies, but they did. From 1980 to 82 model years, that you could get the 200 inline six in the car. And so the thing is, I had to do a hodgepodge of parts and even some custom stuff myself. Although actually, a lot of the sort of customizing was actually done by my buddy Keith, but I could have did it as well. He just kind of took the reins and did it himself, though, which is fine. You know, um, that's fair. The one thing is on my channel, you'll see a little bit of everything though, because it's mostly mechanical that I do on the channel, but I do even right now I'm dealing with a little bit of electrical, so that'll be on the channel soon. Dealing with those damn tail lights, because I've got these LED sequential tail lights that are just annoying. But like getting back to actually, so the T5 swap is from an '83 Mustang V8. Now the problem was, so I had to get a different bell housing. The bell housing itself is from a '66 Mustang. The clutch fork is a mix because we had to cut it up into 3 different pieces, between a '66 and a regular Fox body one, and then we had to add some length on the end of it because we didn't have the correct geometry. Because also that bell housing was designed to have a like that bell housing was designed for a Z bar setup. Well, we did a clutch cable on that, so it took quite a bit of fabrication to do that, but it did work out. And hey, that's not a problem. You always can reach out. And actually the best places to reach out to me. So my Instagram, if you have one, that's usually the best. Is Katarina's.garage. On Instagram, which I'll actually hang on, let me find it. I'll link it down in the comments really quick. There we go. Instagram profile. Come on. There we go. I'll share that. Okay, you don't have that. Okay. The other thing I do have a Facebook page. I will get you the link for that as well. That I don't really post on my Facebook page anymore. I just wasn't getting enough engagement, so I said screw it. There we go. This is my, because that is a Facebook page that I have. In general, that I, use as well. So, but honestly, even if you ask me some stuff in comments and stuff like that, and I'm live quite a decent amount, and even I will actually most Saturdays. This Saturday probably not, but most Saturdays I am live on my buddy's YouTube channel, which is called Novataz. We have an automotive podcast there. It's called the Garage Tools Garage Tools and Bar Stools podcast. Usually a pretty good time, and we usually get a good amount of engagement in the chat, and we go for typically around 4 hours. So, and there's lots of people that are knowledgeable in there as well, because like I am quite knowledgeable on cars in general and mechanics, but there are some stuff that I just don't know. I will fully admit that. And I'm always learning. Always learning. But because even with all the custom mods on my car, it's one of these things that I learned just by doing it. So, yeah, but if it's something that I know, I can definitely help you out with that, because that's not a problem for me. Yeah, here, I'll do this for you. So, going to YouTube, I will link, if you just want to go out and just subscribe to his channel or whatever. really quick. This is, so here is his channel right there. And like there's a lot of mostly GM and Ford there. And that one, because there's a lot of guys like love their Pontiacs and stuff like that in there. Even like there are some people that do LS swaps and stuff like that. It's just one of those deals. Like for me, I do tend to do stuff that's a little bit different than most. I don't do the whole, or as much anyways. Like I do love my V8s and stuff like that, but if I can, build out a six, inline six that will beat up on V8s, do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Because it's just fun. And seeing people's kind of reaction to when I pop the hood and they see that motor, they go, huh? And then, because even if I pull up and they hear the car, going by and kind of idling, it has a stock cam in it currently. I do want to upgrade the cam though, but okay, cool. He'll definitely appreciate that. And yeah, like honestly, it's one of those things where, like I said, for me, the more oddball it is, typically for me, the cooler it is in my opinion. I still love the common stuff though, but it's one of those things because like even my '86 Mustang convertible, it has a 302 in it. It has the stock, so it has a C5 automatic, which is basically a C4 with a lockup converter, essentially. Which is out of a 86. Well, that car was originally a 3.8 V6 car, and so I seized that engine. I sold the car to a guy that owned a mechanic shop. He bought it, swapped the engine, sold it back to me with a shoddy engine that he swapped into it, and he did a bunch of really bad work, to be honest, on the car, and and then sold it back to me, and then I swapped that motor out for what's in it now, which it doesn't make a lot of power. It makes honestly very little power, but it's just a good little car, and it goes pretty good. So it's not fast, not by any means, but it's just fun. Okay, Rascal. There's already a cat on my lap, and you're now blocking the screen. I can't see. I can't see. Can you move? Thank you. Yeah, that'll kind of happen here. Hey, bud. Hey, nice. Hey, Rascal. Yeah, you're a good cat. But no. So and even like that car. So because I'm just thinking of all the mods I've done to it. So there's a double roller timing chain, which I should have just saved up the money and bought a cam and lifters for it when I was doing the timing chain. Should have, but I didn't. Because like my buddy Roy Marco, and he actually had a channel called Roy Marco's Garage. He helped me with the swap, or with the timing chain swap, and he helped me initially with the 2-barrel carb swap too. Gotta like, well, hey, we love our cats, right? And like I've got two, so like Rascal there, he is how old is he now? So I think he's 14 going on 15. And Saber, that's on my lap, he's a tuxedo tabby, and he is 23 going on 24 years old. So I don't know his exact birthday, nor do I know Rascal's, but I know Rascal was born sometime in the autumn though. But you know, however, Saber, Yeah, we don't know. He came to us as a stray cat, and he was about 2 years old. That's all we know. But he and it's just yeah, and my cats are. It's kind of funny because when that guy came in here, I wanted to just show my cat on screen and go, "He's the only man I'll ever need," because it's true. Hey, Saber, you're the only man I'll ever need. Yeah. Oh, that feel good. Yeah, it does. I bet. Oh, are you gonna get playful and start attacking? Okay. Um, but it's one of these things, and like coming in May, like my 81 Mustang is gonna be on the dyno. We'll see what kind of power that car actually makes. It's not gonna be much. I will probably be making the least amount of power on the day, which I don't know. Hopefully, he has a trophy out for that because it'd be a funny trophy to win. You know, unless somebody brings out like a Model T or a Model A or something, but I don't think they will. Um, and Yeah, and I seriously doubt by then that the head will be done because that's probably going to take a couple months to be honest. But we shall see. We shall see how it goes. And like in my car, what's interesting. Well, I didn't mean to click on that stupid phone. Um, because like my '81 Mustang, you know, she I bought her 4 years ago. Almost to the day because like it was a few days ago that the 4 year anniversary of actually owning the car was. And that car, honestly, like it was destined for the scrap heap. Um, because the guy that owned it, he wanted to rip the rear end out of it for a trike project and scrap the car. So I bought it off him, the whole car, for $500, and then yeah, it took me 11 months to get her registered because it just needed a bunch of work. And then she's been a really good daily driver for me because it is a daily driver. I drive it through every condition. But yeah, because I'm just checking because I think if I remember back to that, because I'm just looking really quick because now it's after midnight. I'm just looking at my Facebook memories. Um, hey, no worries. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for the subscription, and I'll catch you later. Have a wonderful sleep and a fantastic day. Because I'm just looking. And these, come on. I should have something here. Just the way that car looked back then. What do it looks like now? Thank you. Yeah, because I don't know how much longer I'll be live for. I don't know. We'll see if we get more people in here. If not, I'll just end. It's not a big deal. Um, Ah, okay. That's what it was. Yeah, I kind of remember that now. Yeah. So, um, and let's just see. I'm just trying to think of anything else I want to talk about. I don't think so. So, I don't know. Maybe I will end the live. I was hoping for a little more interaction, but it does happen. It's not every time that I'll have a live and it just be booming like the last one. It's unfortunately it just because I'd probably still be live on that one live stream if it didn't bug out. So it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. But anyways, yeah, I think I will actually end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all that different stuff. You know the spiel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop.